Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Franklin here, and today we're going to talk about another Pokemon that will inevitably make its way into Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And here we're going to talk about Ursaluna and why I think it's going to be good in competitive Pokemon Generation 9. Let's get started. But before we do, hit that like and subscribe button if you like more of these videos. I am planning on making videos such as this in order to expand more content, so I appreciate all the support and informative criticism. If you guys would like to do so, please do so in the comment section down below. So let's get right into it. Ursaluna, right off the bat, is pretty damn good. Now, ground and normal is a very good typing. Ground enables you immunity to Volt Switch, and if you guys have been living under a rock, Volt Turn is a pretty good core and a pretty cool playstyle to use in recent metagames, particularly in Generation 9. Having an immunity to Volt Switch is always going to be good. And then you have immunity to ghost types in the form of its normal typing. Ghost types such as Goldango, Dragapult, and Skeledrige are still prominent Pokemon, especially Goldango being a top threat, and Dragapult still having a pretty good impact in the metagame right now. But I think the matchup is favorable for Ursaluna against Skeledrige. You are able to, quote-unquote, take on a Will-O-Wisp, and you're able to deal with Hex, which I think is incredible because Skeledrige is very annoying as an unaware Pokemon. So, what set is pretty good for Ursaluna? Okay, I think Flame Orb and Guts. The moment I see Guts on a Pokemon with phenomenal stats like this, you have to go for Flame Orb and Guts. 130 base HP means this Pokemon is fat as hell. 140 base attack. What is Game Freak smoking, man? I mean, don't get me wrong, that's really damn good. I mean, that's freaking powerful until you start realizing its move pool is pretty damn good. And 105 base defense is actually pretty damn respectable. But then all the other stats, it's kind of lackluster. It kind of reminds me like Melmetal. Melmetal had good HP, attack, and defense, but then everything else is like blah. But at least Ursaluna has some decent special defense that it can use. Tolerable. Not great, but it's tolerable. And then the speed, of course, middling as hell. But let's talk about its moveset. This Pokemon has access to Swords Dance. Now, Swords Dance plus Guts and Flame Orb, yeah. You know where this is about to go. Fire Punch, able to deal with fat steels that might be immune or resistant for some reason to Headlong Rush, such as Corviknight. Corviknight is still a pretty good wall to use in Generation 9. And I think having Fire Punch is going to allow it to, punch it in the face. Facade. Oh boy, Facade. The fact that this move gets a stab boost from the normal typing and the double empower due to this Pokemon being burned from Flame Orb. Oh, ain't nobody switching into this. Unless you're a Ghost type, yeah, nobody is switching into this. It's just going to hit incredibly hard. Even Pokemon that resist Facade, I mean, yo, who's switching into this? And then you have Headlong Rush. It's pretty much close combat in the ground form. Now, this Pokemon's moveset is actually kind of cool because it has access to Avalanche, Body Press. It has access to close combat, Double Edge, Drain Punch, Earthquake, Gunk Shot, Hammer Arm, if you really want to do that, in Trick Room, Heavy Slam, High Horsepower, which I wouldn't recommend that, Ice Punch, Play Rough, Low Kick, Rock Slide, Seed Bomb, Shadow Claw, Stone Edge, Terra Blast, if you want to change its Terra typing, and Thunder Punch, and Taunt. So this Pokemon having Taunt is going to be enabling it to deal with Stall pretty well. And oftentimes a lot of stall Pokemon in general are very slow. So if you give Ursaluna a little bit of some speed investment, looks pretty damn good. But I think this will probably be the set to move forward. Now, again, it depends on meta trends as well. But I think this set, the Guts and Flame Orb, it does have access to other abilities such as Unnerve, and Bulletproof. If we click on here for a quick second, yes. Unnerve and Bulletproof, I don't think these compare to Guts. So Guts is going to definitely be the way to go. Terra typing, if you want to have Terra normal, that means Facade is just smashing everything in the face. If you want it to be Terra ground, oh man, Headlong Rushes are going to be incredible. Especially after a +2 from Swords Dance. let's think about this for a minute. With Guts activated, this Pokemon's attack is going to be over 600. Slap on a Sword Stance? Yeah. I mean, we're talking about 1,000 attack. You know what? I take that back. I think this Pokemon is not just going to be good. I think it's going to be, quote unquote, really good. It's able to be really, really good as a potential stall breaker and a wall breaker. And then last but not least, we have the niche Trick Room Abuser. Now, Trick Room right now in this metagame is very niche. There are some Pokemon that haven't been released yet that can either set up Trick Room or abuse Trick Room in general. Obviously, with Trick Room, you have the staples such as Hatterene, and then you have a potential Trick Room setter as Slowking, which has Chilly Reception, which will allow you to bring in a Pokemon safely, kind of like Teleport. But unfortunately, Trick Room, I wouldn't say it's not good. That's definitely not true. But I do think it needs more supporting Pokemon. But I think this Pokemon in general has the speed in order to deal with Trick Room. If you put it at 0 investment in speed, 94 speed is definitely going to be able to outspeed a lot of Pokemon in Trick Room, especially if you're able to switch it in and activate the Guts ability right off the get-go. Yeah, it's punching holes. It's punching holes through a lot of balance and defensive cores. Now, like I mentioned, I think you can also, change the moveset depending on team needs. If you really want to run something such as Taunt, I think this will definitely deal with Stall, in case Stall is a very problematic matchup against Trick Room, which I don't think it really does because Trick Room users tend to be very powerful from the get-go. But of course, right now, Trick Room isn't that great until we see more Pokemon releases later on in the future. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, I would also recommend a Choice Band set for Ursaluna if you want to put it in attack and speed in order to ensure, you're outspeeding walls in the metagame. So let's take a brief look at some calculations. So I have here the first set that I mentioned. Now I'm at +2 Sword Stance. So let's take a look at a potential wall such as Skeledrigue. Assuming that it kept its Terra typing in Fairy, in Fire. Yeah, good luck. But let's say this Pokemon, terrestrializes into Fairy. Of course, this Pokemon is doing magnificent damage to this Pokemon, regardless what it does. So let's turn on the Fairy typing. Facade is still 2-hit KOing this Pokemon. And I haven't even taken into calculation Stealth Rocks or Spikes yet. Yikes. And then, let's say, for example, you have someone like Corviknight. So let's put Corviknight in here as a defogger. Has some pretty good defense investment here. Yeah, good luck. Fire Punch is just straight up murdering it after +2 Sword Stance. And then let's take a look at a final wall such as Tinglu. Oh boy, Tinglu at +2. Yeah. Good luck. You're not switching anything into this Pokemon. Especially a well-played Ursaluna can predict any switch-ins. Yeah, this Pokemon is going to be a menace to society. So, overall, I think this Pokemon is going to be really good. But again, we got to see what type of metagame trends will happen moving forward. Let me know what you guys think about Ursaluna. Are you excited to use this Pokemon? And let me know if you guys like these kind of videos. It's your boy Franklin, signing out. Peace.